So today we're going to be talking about my man Amare Stoudemire, and I'm going to be making the case why I think Amare could possibly go into the Hall of Fame. I want you guys to sit back and enjoy the video. Let's go. So Amare Stoudemire was actually drafted in the year 2002 as the 9th overall pick by the Phoenix Suns, and when he came in, he was a 6'10" power forward, had some really good size to him and great athleticism. But what happened was, when he came into the league, I don't think the league was really ready for him or looking for him, because when he came in, as I said, he was a 9th overall pick, but he immediately came in as a player that was really electrifying. Amare Stoudemire was pulling off some of the best dunks that you could see from a big man anywhere. He was dunking over everybody, Yao Ming, Alonzo Mourning, whatever it is, Amare was gonna dunk it on you. Now, luckily for him, when he joined the Phoenix Suns, he was actually paired with a really good player, probably a Hall of Famer in Steve Nash. Now, Steve Nash was a 2-time NBA MVP, and the pairing between them really just, revolutionized the pick and roll, brought back sort of the Stockton Malone kind of thing. And with a coach like Mike D'Antoni at the helm, as the coach of the team, he really took that San Antonio offense to a whole new level with the shooting like 4 seconds or less kind of philosophy. And the Phoenix Suns were actually able to put up a lot of points, and Amare Stoudemire benefited from that. So in 1 year, he actually averaged 22 points a game, about 2 assists a game, and 9 rebounds a game. So Amare could ball. So if you guys saw Blake Griffin and you looked at Blake Griffin and you said, man, Blake Griffin is really athletic, you should go watch Amare Stoudemire highlights. And in fact, the game that Blake Griffin really pulled off his signature dunks, against, I think it was the New York Knicks. At that time, Amare Stoudemire was playing for the Knicks, and he just, he was answering them back. It's just that Blake Griffin was such a new player that nobody was really paying attention to Amare Stoudemire. But he ended up being, I think it was a 6-time All-Star, a Rookie of the Year in 2003. He ended up being the Rookie of the Year, and he made an NBA All-First team and multiple NBA second team. So he was a really good player. It wasn't like as if Amare Stoudemire was a scrub. He was a 6-time All-Star. Not too many players get to play basketball that can say they played for 6 years. So he made a lot of deep playoff runs, and it's just that he couldn't get to he never made it to the finals, but he did have a lot of playoff success in the Western Conference. Now you got to know, the Western Conference has been really it's been the tougher conference probably for the past 15 years, because you got to think about the teams that were there. You had the San Antonio Spurs, you had the Lakers, you had the Kings, then you had the Phoenix Suns and so many other teams. So the Western Conference was always competitive, and Amare Stoudemire was one of the reasons why the Phoenix Suns really were able to do so well over time. Yes, they had Steve Nash and they had the Mike D'Antoni offensive system that was working in place, but he was the focal point of that offense, and he benefited greatly from that system, but he also was the driving force. So a lot of people were wondering what would happen when he got traded to the New York Knicks. And when he went to the New York Knicks, he immediately revitalized the franchise. He got them into the playoffs, and a lot of people were just like, whoa, because he completely bought into the system, and you could tell that Amare was a really, really good leader. It's just that as time went on, he eventually got injured, which is something that unfortunately happens to a lot of basketball players, a lot of great basketball players in the past. People like Tracy McGrady, who we just did a video on, who could have had an amazing career, or people like Derrick Rose, who could have had an even more amazing career, but due to injuries, they ended up really getting slowed down in their, on their path to success. But Amare Stoudemire had a really good career. If you go look his numbers up, he had about 5 or 6 seasons where he averaged over 20 points a game, and some when he averaged over 23, 25, and the one that I just told you about, when he averaged 26 points a game. He was a good rebounder for his size at 6'10". He had great leaping ability. He was very quick, but also he was very powerful, and I think he would catch a lot of defenders off guard. If you watch a lot of his chest-to-chest dunks, he was really good at taking contact and finishing over the top. But since then, Amare hit the last team he played for was the Miami Heat in 2016. So he played for a pretty long time, for about 12 or 14 years or so. So he had a good career. He played for a lot of time in the NBA. Then he came back. Then he played abroad with Israel and other places. And then he really decided that, he wanted to come back to the NBA just this year, but as a mentor. He wanted to be a mentor to younger basketball players and really help them at the age of 36. So a lot of talk has been on whether or not Amare is he's going to actually come back to the league. But he never had any issues. He was one of those players that you heard no drama about. He always got along with people. He never had any problems with people. So I think Amare has a good chance of most likely probably getting on the team, getting back into the league, but also really being able to help a lot of these young players. Now, unfortunately, as I said, he never won a championship because at the time when he was in New York, Carmelo Anthony was also traded to the Knicks, and a lot of people thought they were going to be a dynamic duo, but that didn't really work out. But in the end, he still had a great career. So today we highlighting a great player in Amare Stoudemire. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you're a Amare Stoudemire fan or a Phoenix Suns fan, make sure you hit the like button and subscribe to the channel, and I'll catch you guys later. Peace.